Day 16, nicotine free. So I've made it past the 2-week mark, and things are significantly better. During the first week, I fell into a pit. Pit of despair, you might say, but partly the withdrawal effects from nicotine. Now I'm starting to level off. I'm starting to feel better. I have more optimism towards the world, and I can envision myself living a nicotine-free life. I'm still focused on being nicotine-free on a daily basis, and that hasn't quite gone into my subconscious completely, but I'm not reaching for a cigarette or a nicotine product. I'm content being nicotine-free. Now, I'm not saying I am perfectly able to handle stress in all situations without desiring a cigarette or a nicotine product, but it is much easier to live a nicotine-free life and see the hope and the optimism because I've gone past that first week. And I know that statistically, when you go past the first week, it's possible, or your chances of success go up dramatically. So that in itself gives me hope. I'm also continuing to read literature around smoking cessation because it is so early in the process. I'm reading a 30-day book and I'm reading a 90-day book as well as some daily readings for inspiration in the morning. I'm finding that my sleep is still off by quite a bit. I'm waking up in the middle of the night and my sleep is, the quality of my sleep has improved, but the duration of my sleep is still fragmented. Now, one thing that just occurred to me a few days ago is I also quit using melatonin. I was using melatonin at night. So I was in a crazy cycle. I was basically juicing myself up with stimulants from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. I get up in the morning, I grab a coffee. While I'm waiting for the coffee maker, I'm going out to have a cigarette. So I've got 2 sources of stimulants. Then throughout the day, I'm drinking coffee and smoking, and I'm continually juicing myself up throughout the day. I'm doing a series on caffeine cessation, and the main point is I wasn't paying attention to how much caffeine I was consuming and how late in the day I was consuming caffeine. So I found now that I have a more natural energy. Even though my sleep is still fragmented, I'm finding that my sleep is enough to get me through the day. Here and there I might feel like a nap, but in general, I have a smoother, more stable energy. Now I am working right now to get off of caffeine or to try a caffeine-free period to see if that helps the sleep. But I also want to keep in mind that I not only stopped using nicotine, but then stopped using melatonin at the same time. Part of the reason I decided to stop is because I was trying to get out of that cycle of stimulant, relaxant. I thought it was just insane. Right before going to bed, I would double down on the cigarettes, maybe even do some vaping as well, just to give myself that extra nicotine push. But by doing that, by giving that extra nicotine push, I was going into nicotine withdrawals in the middle of the night, and that was impacting my sleep. So it's possible there could be 2 things at play. One is the nicotine withdrawal, and then there's also the withdrawal of melatonin. Because I was taking melatonin most days of the week, that was impairing my own ability to make melatonin. So because of that, I'm in a dual withdrawal at the moment. So I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway there. Well, I mean, I'm giving myself leeway anyways because of the quit smoking journey, but there's a bit of a plausible explanation there. And then at the same time, each day I've been gradually reducing the amount of caffeine that I've been intaking. I'll get into that in another video, but it's reducing by about 8 milligrams a day, with the goal to get down to 0 in about 3 weeks. So there's 2 things at play, but overall I got through a bad hump where I was angry, I was irritable, and I started to realize, hey, this could be the nicotine withdrawal. This might not be a real feeling. It could be caused by that side effect. This week has been much easier, and it's been easier to function. I am Oddly, I'm noticing that I'm coughing a little more than I did. So I wasn't coughing very much. Now I'm starting to cough a little more, and my nose still feels like it's a little plugged up, but it is gradually starting to unclog. And just like last week, I'm smelling the smells of spring now. I'm smelling the flowers. I was out for a walk the other day, and I couldn't believe the smell of these flowers. These were weeds. These were not really fragrant flowers, but there were these little weeds that were flowering, and I could smell the smells of spring. And scent is a very strong trigger of memory. So it's almost like being thrown back to an earlier time before nicotine was running my day, and at a time when I could smell. So that's been an enjoyable thing. And the renewed sense of optimism. I continue to read every day. I engage in some daily readings. So while I'm making the coffee right now, I go out to the back porch. I engage in the daily readings instead of puffing away. So I've replaced a negative habit for a positive one. And I think that's really important. I've also done some journaling as well, so I'm continuing that practice. And what I'm looking to do is tackle the sugar next, and I would like to incorporate some exercise, but for right now, I'm focused on the being nicotine free and gradually reducing my caffeine to the point of being caffeine free as well. So there's my update, and I'm looking forward to the next week and to see how things go.